All right, we're back at it again. It is 11:08 a.m. It is currently Monday, February 23rd, and today was a break-even day. So I'm gonna be quickly recapping what we had going on today on the Nasdaq. Okay, so off bat, we had no news today. Surprise, surprise. This week we don't have a lot of news coming out, honestly, besides honestly really the PPI news, unless Trump has anything to say Tuesday that's super volatile. Not looking super heavy today on news. I mean, this week on news. But today I took one break-even trade, and I think I did really well in reading my buys and everything today. Just gonna mark this out to make sure what it is going on. Hold up. So okay, so let's see. Hold on. Let's go to 15, right? Yeah. So let's go to replay. Let's go to New York Open 9:30 right here. Cool. So I'm looking at New York Open right here, right? So let me just delete this right here. Cool. So during pre-market, New York pre-market, right? I was looking to see what our bias was, right? So I was looking at this, correct? When I was looking at the 4 hour here, right? Off rip, I saw these. So let me actually mark all. Let me get rid of all of this right here. All right, same thing on here. Cool. So off rip, I was looking at this, right? So let me replay this once again. Let's go back to hold up, no. Go back to the 15. Why is it 9:30? Boom. Right. So looking at the 4 hour, yes, we have, or the last, I don't know why I did that, but basically the last liquidity pool that got taken out was, right, we swept these highs up here on what, Wednesday was it, on a 4 hour. So we were delivering from this high, right? We had this nice delivery down here. We had this 4 hour inversion occur right here. So we had this 4 hour IFEG form right here. And we also had this 4 hour FEG form from this delivery right here, right? Cool. With that in mind, what we had going on during pre-market was we did have this 4 hour BPR gap in play during New York pre-market. Cool. As we can see, we dipped into that. This leg doesn't matter, but we dipped into this BPR gap and we had nice support here at open. Same thing was going on here on the S&P. As you can see, BPR here holding pretty nicely here. Cool. This is where we zoom in on the 1 hour here, right? So let me go back once again towards here. So where is it? Sorry, replay. Go here. So we had previously highs sitting right above us here, right? We had previously highs up here above us, previously highs, and then we also had previously lows sitting all the way down here. I'm not mistaken. I believe that was it. Hold up, is it previously low here? Yeah, we had previously lows sitting right below us right here. Previously low sitting right below us here, previously high sitting right above us here, correct? But I was leaning more bearish initially, at least for one thing to consider. Obviously, we obviously had the 4 hour in play here, but also from this delivery, correct? From this delivery towards down here to this level, not only was it a 4 hour BPR gap, but it was also equilibrium of the move, right? We traced into equilibrium of the move, had a nice wick respect, and we also respect the concentrated encroachment of the BPR gap, right? So I was leaning very bearish here, off rip, correct? I was leaning very bearish at open towards ideally previous day lows, and we also did have Asia lows right below us here. We had Asia lows, and we had London lows sitting right below us here as well. Correct? I was leaning for us to take out these liquidity pools right below us here on our target for today. Yes, same thing you can have here. And we did have a new week opening gap here in play. I'll mark it out real quick here. From here to here, we had this new week opening gap here in play. I'll go with breaker here. Let's put a new week opening gap right now. New week opening gap. So within the first 5 minutes, right? Within the first 5 minutes of open, we had a very strong push upwards. So let me just, yeah, boom. So within the first 5 minutes, right, we had this very strong wick occur up here upwards. Strong push upwards. On the S&P, the new week opening high and low. So this is the gap. We fill in new week opening gap entirely on the S&P, and we take out Asia highs as well on the S&P. On Nasdaq, we have not only do we have not only do we have Asia highs fully intact up here, but we don't fill in the gap entirely, right? So we already have an SMT in play on top of my already bearish bias. I wasn't liking the fact that we left these previous highs really close up here. It was looking a little funny, but not only did we had Asia highs in play, we were respecting concentrated encroachment of a BPR gap. We were respecting equilibrium of the expansion move we had from the high we saw earlier, right? Everything was leaning very bearish to me here, so I was looking very like heavily for sells here. It was looking very good for sells as a whole. With that in mind, right, I was now looking for a confirmation for us to begin to push back down. Yes, so this is where I wait for this 5-minute inversion to occur right here, right? So we have this beautiful rejection right here. Where is it? Hold up. Right here, we have this beautiful rejection right here occur, right? So we have this inversion of the 5-minute gap right here occur, and we do also get a CISD with a very nice heavy wick on to the downside. So right here, I have my confirmation for sells off bat. I'm like, okay, boom, looking for sells. We took out London lows, so I'm a little wary here to make sure we don't begin to expand upwards. But if we are truly bearish, right, I want to see us retrace into this 5-minute inversion, maybe perhaps, or at least equilibrium on the 1 minute. But I already had my 5-minute confirmation for sells here, right? So I'm kind of waiting here to see a setup on a 1 minute, right? See what it is that we do. We just kind of play around a little bit, right? Eventually, we form a 5-minute gap and we form a 5-minute BPR gap, right? So we form this 5-minute gap, and we also have this BPR gap here in play. Right here, we get a BPR gap in play. So not only do we tap into, we retrace into BPR to the BPR gap, right? But we also do retrace into equilibrium of the expansion from the fill-in of the new week opening gap. Nice large expansion here. BPR gap gets respected, equilibrium gets respected. I'm now looking for an inversion to occur. I'm ideally waiting to inverse this IFEG right here, right? I'm looking for an IFEG right here to get inverse. So I'm waiting. Eventually, we inverse it, right? I then take a market order entry at around this area right here. My stop was at the high. I'm targeting the low, and I'm breaking even down here at this swing low. So I'm targeting our next liquidity pool, which would be Asia lows, sitting down over here, correct? I take my entry here, and from there we begin to deliver very nicely, right? Obviously got scared here a little bit, I ain't gonna lie. We kind of deliver pretty strongly here. At this point right here, so before that happens, can I go back real quick? Can I go back to this point right here? Yeah. So at this point right here, I'm pretty sure the S&P took out London lows, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so London lows are, no, is there here? Yeah, I think it's London lows here. So at this point, London lows got taken out on the S&P. So I'm kind of wary of certain things here to make sure that maybe we don't reject off heavily from that point. But either way, I go break even, right? From this point to this point, I go break even. I'm hoping we deliver down towards our draw, which is down here. But at this point, we just kind of begin to shoot up, and then I get stopped out at that level right here. We reach to the IFEG here anyway. Honestly, one thing I should have considered is I should have definitely looked to take an entry at the FEG up here. Hold on, let me actually make myself. So one thing I should have considered is I should have taken an entry at the IFEG, given that we were actually moving pretty slowly. It wasn't like one really strong candle IFEG. It was kind of like we was like trying to like push down. So I should have expected us to kind of retreat into the zone for us to take sells from here. At that point, we get stop out break even. I actually lose $30, which doesn't really matter too much. It's a very small amount anyway. So at this point, I'm like, okay, cool. Let's look for another entry, right? From there, I don't really see much going on, correct? We just kind of just do our thing. We do, though, have this 5-minute gap here in play, right? So I kind of want to see how we react from this 5-minute gap. If we inverse it, then maybe we're ready to begin to expand upwards towards the new week opening gap, maybe filling up. And maybe on the S&P, maybe we want to tap all the way up here to previous highs. I'm not sure. But either way, I'm still remaining bearish. So right here, I'm looking to see if I get any form of entry. So I want to see us begin to deliver. And there's no entries here for me. If anything, maybe I was looking at a 30-second inversion all the way down here, as you can see right here. Maybe all the way down here, but not really necessary, or nothing really plainly simple. So right now here, I'm waiting to see what happens. So bam, bam, bam. We just kind of deliver down. Eventually, we deliver down over here, and we tap into the swing low we left behind, right? I'm still looking at the 1 minute here, right? I'm still looking at the 1 minute to see what it is that we do. So we deliver down over here. We take out this low. I'm still bearish, right? We trace into this 1 minute FEG, right? Right here. And I was gonna take this entry, but I wasn't super sure about it, so I didn't take it. But basically, this is the second trade I saw. I didn't take it. So we tap into this FEG. Only reason I was a little wonky about this was because of the delivery we got from the 5 minute FEG. It was a little bit funny. And yes, we were bearish still, but I was hoping maybe we would want to come down to equilibrium of this move here and maybe retest this 1 minute FEG we left behind right here. It's kind of what I was looking for ideally. But we do trace into this 1 minute gap, and then I'll zoom in on a 30-second, and we got this 30-second inversion right here. At this point, I'm not exactly looking for entry still exactly. We could have taken an entry after this inversion that occurs here, right? But more importantly, we form this BPR gap right here. We have a very nice little 30-second BPR gap form right here, which is a great draw. And at this point, I'm like, wait, should I actually take this entry or not? And I ended up not taking the entry, but look at what we end up doing. So we trace back into this BPR, right? The great entry here, stop us at the top, and targeting the Asia low sitting right below us right here, right? So we would have taken an entry here. From here, we begin to deliver. We would go break even at this low right here, correct? Nice little break even. At the same time, the S&P is very close to taking out, well, actually, we do take out Asia lows. So at around the same time, Asia lows get taken out on the S&P, and we take out this swing low right here. I break even, right? So I would have gone break even around here. Boom. Cool. From here, we just kind of begin to deliver upwards a little bit, right? Here, this would have been scary. I may have gotten stopped out here, but my break even would have been more like around about 2 ticks away from break even, just to make up for slippage. But once we shoot back up, we just begin to deliver back down towards our draw, and boom, we take this. We would have taken that entry here. I mean, the exit there. It would have been a great trade at 2.5 RR. Honestly, just two things. One, I did get scared about what would happen. Honestly, it was very like, it was kind of nerve wracking. I mean, honestly, I haven't backed it enough to get a proper model, a proper idea what I should be looking for afterwards. But in hindsight, this was a good delivery from this 5 minute gap. 5 minute holds strongly. In confluence with this, right, we do have a BOS occur here as well. Nice little BOS occurs right here. So we do break below this low, and we do retrace into about 0.6 to 0.7 of the Fibonacci right here. Nice little wick at 0.618 of the Fibonacci. Respect, shoot back down, right? We tap into the internal low. We retrace it to this 1 minute FEG. Nice little 30-second IFEG with with 2 candle expansion here. BPR forms. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that if I had taken an entry at the inversion of the IFEG, I would have gotten stopped out at break even. But had I taken an entry at the BPR, that would have been a great trade at once again 2.45 R, 1 to 2.5 RR trade. Either way, I'm happy for two things. One, I had a very clear read on our today's bias. I honestly like all the conflicts I piled up together. Equilibrium, IFEGs, FEGs, BPR, everything kind of just pulled up very nicely here. And I like the fact that also I stuck to my bias on a day. Not that I was marrying it, but rather that it was more of a, everything was kind of pointing towards it, and I didn't flip my bias around mid trade, you know. I'm also really happy about this entry here. I think this entry was pretty good. If anything, the only thing I could have maybe done better was maybe took a limit order entry, given the fact that we were kind of more pushing through it very slowly as opposed to like very wicking it. I think a market order entry only made sense if it was a 1 to 2 very like straight IFEG break, but in this case it was kind of more like slowly going down. Either way, very great sell there. So very good short there, my bad. And then here, I think I could have taken an entry at the BPR. I saw the BPR present itself. I didn't take the entry. This would have been an amazing like trade here. This would have been an easy market order. I don't know. I can't see it here's replay, but would have been a great entry. With that being said, I gotta fix a couple of things in regards to taking entries, being afraid, so on and so forth. But honestly, also all things considered, a great day today. But hopefully next week is better. Hopefully, I mean, sorry, hopefully tomorrow is better. Yeah, I think I am seeing improvement as a whole. I'm just hoping that I can, actually take capitalize on these entries and such. But with that being said, yeah, I think hopefully maybe Thursday, Friday is better. Not sure what's gonna happen, but once again, break even on a day. Well, technically minus 30, but it is what it is. So yeah, this is